Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy, the Golden Boy, and today we are back on Apex Legends, and today what I have for you guys is how to improve in Apex Legends. Now, I don't really have anything written down or anything, and I'm probably going to be all over the place when it comes to examples of how to improve in Apex, but I'm just going to go straight off the top of the head and try and help you guys with a few things. Along with this video, I'm going to have a follow-up video in the next day or two, where I just talk over my own gameplay of me playing solo and getting like 20 kills, I believe, in a 4,000 damage game. But I'm just going to talk over it in that video to like let you guys know what I was thinking during each engagement, because I know some people can take tips, but they want to know exactly what's going through someone's mind when they're making these plays, like why they're doing certain decisions instead of doing other ones, you know what I mean? Like more like a hands-on thing for you guys. But getting into this video, just a few tips and just overall examples of how to improve in Apex Legends, coming from someone who's been playing Apex Legends since day one, who has some of the craziest stats in the game, who has many wins, many kills, many like plays, many just playing solo a lot of the time too. If you guys are just mainly focusing on playing solo a lot of the time, I feel like that's a massive way to improve your gameplay. You can definitely play with friends too and improve too, but that actually leads me to my first thing. Is I feel the best way to improve right off the rip is there's a few things actually. There's who you play with. There's gun skill involved. Like, okay, this is the first thing actually, and that is just your raw gun skill. Like, some people are born with faster reflexes. Some people are just naturally better at the game. Like, I'm not 6'8", but I'm never gonna be a basketball player because I am not 6'8". You know what I mean? Like, some people are just genetically more gifted in certain areas and aspects of life. Like, for me, it is. I definitely think it is video games. I think video games, my reflexes are very, very quick. I'm able to think in engagements very quickly. The way my brain processes things, like to the nerves in my hands and stuff like that. It's honestly just biological things like that. But yeah, one thing is just being blessed and being gifted enough to do things where you don't have to really think about it too much. Like, it's almost on instinct for me personally. But you can definitely improve on that too. You don't have to be genetically gifted to be good at the game. You can still try and put the time in, right? Like, you can make up with that for time. So like, I naturally was really good at the game off the beginning. For you guys, it might take a year or two, you know what I mean? Like, you can definitely put that time in and definitely improve on those aspects. So just first off, it is just being gifted and being lucky with pretty much biological stuff like that. But getting into the actual game itself, right? So settings, I think settings are crucially important, because in a lot of these engagements where you lose gunfights and you take away from it is you probably should be winning a lot of your gunfights, right? So like, I don't like to miss like at all. I get very annoyed if I'm not on point 24/7, and it all that revolves around like settings and sense. I have a settings video back in like a week or two ago, if you guys want to check that out, when it comes to I use my own settings. But you guys should definitely use your own settings. Use what's comfortable for you guys. Don't use someone else's specific settings unless they work for you the way that they work for me, right? So what works for me doesn't work for you. So another thing is just getting into the settings. Another thing is map rotation, weapon meta. So like what you're actually playing, right? Specific guns are going to get you in specific engagements. Like, if you're not good with a certain weapon, you can always try to improve and get better with that weapon. But if you're specifically trying to just be a better overall player when it comes to Apex, I definitely think you should stick to the bread and butter and then slowly migrate to the things that you're not too great at. Like, me personally, I'm not that insane with the longbow. I used to be really good with the wingman, but I'm not that great with the wingman anymore. Still exceptional, but just not as good as I used to be. And I stick towards the things that I'm most comfortable with, like the R9, the 301, the Hemlock, things like that. So I stick to those while implementing smaller times where I'm using those weapons, trying to get smallly better with those weapons over time. But I stick to the R9 and the 301, stuff like that, things that make me comfortable at the game. Another thing is playing with people that are very, very good, right? So I think that it's actually a disadvantage that you play with people that are very, very good, like being in a 3-stack. And me personally, whenever I play with two people that are very, very good, like say for instance, like Nick and Satiability, if we were to play with those two together, which I don't ever, because it's just, we'd all just get 4 or 5 kills and that's just no fun for anybody. But if we played in a stack 3-man, I'm at the point where mentally, and another thing of this is mental, man. Like, you have to be mentally prepared to want to improve, right? So every single season, I always want to increase my KD. So like, or not even my KD, but my stats. And that's just like a personal goal for me, just to try and improve at the game, right? So season 2, I had like a 24 KD. Season 3, I had a 28 or 29, maybe even like 31 or whatever. That's not besides the point. It goes up every single season. So I aim to improve my stats every single season. I do not like when they decrease or go down because I feel like I'm doing something wrong. But there's always those times where it's okay. You have to make those adjustments to get back. Like this season, I started off really poorly, but I just made some adjustments. I focused on wanting to improve, and that is what I've been doing for the rest of the season. So, like I said, playing with people that are very, very good. Yeah, so people that are very, very good, I feel like I'm in the mentality of if I go down or I go into a gunfight, it's okay if I go down, or it's okay if I miss these shots here and there, because my teammate's so good that they can just back me up, right? And that's not the mentality that you want. You want to go into a gunfight being the better person, having the better shot, having the confidence that you're going to 1v3 that squad and everything like that. But I feel like playing in a 1v3, or not a 1v3, playing in a 3-man decreases that a little bit for me personally. I don't know if it happens for you guys, but for me personally, I feel like when I'm in a 3-man, I rely on my teammates sometimes, so I'm not really in the mindset of being super sweaty or wanting to improve in that aspect. So I think if you want to improve, truly improve, you want to play solo, maybe with another friend, right? Solos or with another friend. Go into engagements and be extremely aggressive. Do not care, well, definitely care, but do not be upset if you die. Do not be demoralized if you go into engagements and you're not winning too many gunfights at first. But the more engagements you get into, the more aggressive you are, the better you are going to come out of it, right? So for me, I was one of the most aggressive players in Kings Canyon, for sure, without a doubt. Like, my friends could not keep up at all, and that is because I strictly felt like every engagement that I would get into, I would get better, right? The more engagements I was in, the more the flow I was in, the better I was getting. I think that with aggression comes learning. It comes with IQ. You're able to get out of areas that you normally wouldn't be able to get out of because you've been in there in that situation so many times. So I definitely think that that being that aggressive can definitely benefit you in the long run, without a doubt. Like, if you're going to be a passive player and get 3 or 4 kills, it's still okay if that's what you're, like, okay with, if you just want to play passive, play for some dubs and everything like that. But if you want to strictly improve on your gun skill and getting 20 bombs, getting high kills, getting high damage, I definitely think that being the most aggressive that you possibly can, and that's not just being aggressive, right? You just don't want to push into an engagement and die, right? You want to push into the engagement and start thinking immediately, like, where I should position myself, this, and that. And that's what the next video is going to be, is me talking about why I did certain scenarios, so you guys can get in that mindset of why I was aggressive at that situation, but then I decided to back off and go into another engagement, you know what I mean? Things like that. But hopefully these small tips help you guys improve in gameplay. Like, I think the most important things is mentality, aggression, knowing your settings, and being comfortable in the mindset of wanting to improve. You always gotta want to improve. If you truly want to improve at a game, or just anything in life, really, you got to give it your all, man. You got to really want to improve. But hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of this gameplay, and I will see you guys in the video coming up in the next day or two. Peace out, guys.
Enemy down. Reloading. Another enemy down. Reloading. Whole squad's down. We need to recharge my shields.
Zipline deployed. Zipline here.
It's down.
Enemy spotted. Hostile spotted.
enemy.
Good kill, friend. 1 minute. The ring is far.
Wow, looks like that was the last one of the squad.
One more squad. Recharging my shields.
Preparing.
45 seconds, ring's close. Healing up. Eyes are open though.
Recharging shields.
Firing. Reloading. I downed an enemy. Another enemy down. Took out a lot this time.
Killed a skin suit.
Warning. Recruitment in progress. Attention. Delivering care package. You are the Apex Champions.